The story that I'm about to tell isn't really that big of a deal. In fact, 3 weeks after this has happened, today, it doesn't even matter anymore. But it really just gets to show how important this one life test is and how annoying it can get from time to time. So you see, around a month ago, I was informed that we were going to Bulgaria on a vacation, which was really nice. And so I started preparing all of the setup. Like, for example, I wouldn't have my microphone over there and my regular setup where I would record videos. And so I downloaded this really cool app, which was like Audacity, but for mobile phones. It was called Lexis Audio Editor. If you're curious and you want to start making videos like me, for example. I'm telling you, it's literally like Audacity, but for mobile phones. So you have basically nothing to lose. And so, one day, before we went to the vacation, I started to record a video, basically in this same environment that I'm in right now. I grabbed my mobile phone, I pressed record, and I started to record the video that I had planned for the day. And if you knew me in real life, or if you have spoken to me on a Discord call, then you know that when I start to talk about self improvement, especially, or history, or the universe, I truly appreciate it and I truly enjoy being able to talk about those subjects. So I just go on and on and on. I just want to give you as much value as possible. And that's exactly what I do in these videos. Of course, there are moments where I can literally talk for minutes without even pressing the stop record button. Or there are sometimes moments where I record for like 5 seconds and have to pause it, then record again. Yeah, stuff happens. And so I started in like halfway through the video. Basically, I mispronounced something. I don't remember what word was it. And so I wanted to cut it out so that I could, of course, record further. And so, Lexis Audio Editor, it doesn't have a feature where you can just put your finger on the recording and you like swipe to the right or to the left to like highlight the part that you want to delete. No. Instead, you have these two bars, these two like vertical lines that you have to slide in order to be able to delete it. There's one on the left side and there's one on the right side. Meaning that if you have, for example, a 6 minute recording and you want to get rid of the part between the second and fourth minute, well, then you put the left slider on the second minute and the right slider on the fourth minute. And then you just press delete. Simple, right? Well, you see, I didn't know this at that time, but what Lexis Audio Editor has, it is a feature to zoom in and to zoom out. And when I wanted to delete this part of the recording where I started, it was just such a small moment that when I was fully zoomed out, I just couldn't reach it, no matter how hard I tried. And keep in mind, I had no idea that you could actually zoom in because the segment that I wanted to delete, it was like, I don't know, 2 seconds long. And when I was fully zoomed out, 1 second was basically like 1% of the entire screen. So I had to perfectly align the sliders so that they would fit. And I did eventually succeed, but I didn't delete everything. There was still basically like 30% of what I wanted to delete, but I didn't have the chance because it was just so small on the screen. And so I went into a rage tantrum. There was this pressure that, oh, this is the last video before the vacation, you need to get it done soon. And plus, I wanted to continue with my daily routine. And so, yeah, I snapped, I said some cursed words. In fact, I'll even admit this to show you that I'm not perfect. I even had this like plastic box right next to me. And so I punched it just like that, like 5 times probably. Yeah, just because of the sheer rage that was flowing through my veins The adrenaline was pumping through like there was no tomorrow. And all the while, in the top right corner of the screen were the zoom in and zoom out options, but I just didn't notice them at that time. And so, eventually I recorded the video, I finished it. And after I walked out of the room where I, record these videos, and I checked the app once again, I noticed them. Do you know what I did? I didn't scream. I wasn't angry. I wasn't sad. I wasn't disappointed. I was glad that this entire thing was over. Like, yeah, sure, I was still salty that I wasted like 20 minutes of just raging, whilst all I had to do was just click the two random buttons that I had noticed, but I just didn't care enough to use them. And you know what I did? I wrote down this one video idea that I'm recording to you right now. Because the one life test that life will constantly throw at you, the one life test that you have to get used to fast in order to become the best version of yourself, is that life will put you through so many trials, so many efforts, and it won't give you the life lesson first. It will make you make the mistake first, and then it will show you the life lesson. That's just how life works. Because in the end, whose fault was it that I didn't notice the zoom in and zoom out options? It was my fault, of course. And so, the life lesson that I got from that not so important life test was that I should really look around more. I even got a video on my channel about creativity, how the solution to your life problems may be already in front of you. And I didn't implement the tactics from that video. I felt so ashamed of myself. But don't worry. Now, every time when I have a new editing software, or when I basically have a new website that I join, for example, I don't know, I try out all the different buttons, all the different options, and I basically turned that 20-minute segment where I was raging during the recording of that video into a life lesson that I follow and that I will follow to the day that I die. Because it is truly something valuable that I have taken away from that experience. Now I'm way more mindful about trying all the different options when it comes to using different softwares, like this one, for example. You know, life won't come to you. It won't tell you that, oh, little Jimmy, you have these two buttons that you need to press in order to zoom in and to zoom out. No, it will make you go through hell, and it will make you find the life lesson. It is exactly the opposite of school, and that's why so many people just aren't successful in life. That's why so many people, they just live a monotone existence until the day that they die. They never risk, they never truly experiment with their bodies. They never buy courses to follow their passions. They have even no idea how far their limit is when it comes to exercising, when it comes to being productive, like, for example, working on something, reading a book. They have no idea that if they actually push themselves enough, they could last like 4 hours reading that book while they can barely. Their emotional barrier is limiting them so much that they barely are able to read for 30 minutes before they get truly bored. How pathetic, right? They are scared of the thought of not being able to solve their problems. They are scared, they are terrified of the fact that they will have to find a life lesson themselves. They are afraid that other people will laugh at them. That's why when you're sitting in class and the teacher has, the question of, does anyone have any questions? No one, no one gives her any questions because no one wants to risk it, even if they actually don't understand it. No one just wants to, ruin their reputation that they barely have. Even the quote fuckboys in your class that, they constantly swear, they say the N-word, they go out drinking at, at the clubs, at the weekends. They are afraid too that they will embarrass themselves in front of your female classmates. But guess what? We are men on self-improvement. We know, we value the power of stoicism. We know that if we actually ask for input, then we will get it and we will turn it into valuable output, meaning that we are actually so brave when it comes to asking questions that we are not afraid to even ask the most essential questions to get the answers that we're looking for that will make our journeys on this earth way easier. I'm gonna be totally fucking honest with you. I'm really good at math. Well, not to the point where I would be a straight A student, but I'm decent enough. I got an A on my report card last half year, but that's besides the point. Basically, even I still make huge mistakes when it comes to math. Like, math is just that subject where if you make one mistake, the entire house just falls down. So we have to be so cautious when it comes to it. And guess what? Even I still have something to learn from my teachers who teach me math. I'm not afraid to ask them anything. I don't think that they will look at me less. No, in fact, they will look at me more because they will see how brave I am, how amazing I am at taking action. They will respect me more because I'm actually doing something with my life instead of my other classmates who are just sitting behind their desks the entire time they're in school. They're scrolling on fucking TikTok, just frying their dopamine receptors. And, and so, why don't you be that guy? Why aren't you brave enough to ask your teachers on input? Why don't you ask them on something that you aren't so sure of? I guarantee to you that the 99% of the time they will answer you completely seriously and they will give you the answer that you're looking for. They are not there to make fun of you. They are there to teach you something. And so it is your God given right as a reader of life, as a student of life, to ask them anything. You are on this earth to become the best version of yourself. This life is completely dedicated to get as many life lessons as possible so that you can become the best version of yourself. And guess what, bro? Even if it comes to the fact that you don't understand something and those bullshit people in your class will laugh at you, well then, you know who will be in your closest circle once you become the best version of yourself and who will not. Those 99% of people, they will just have such an awful existence in the future. Remember, eventually the compound effect will take care of you and it will take care of them also. Because you are becoming the best version of yourself. You are improving every single day. You're resisting the bad habits. You're applying the growth mindset to become the best version of yourself. And you're watching videos like these. You're actually educating yourself on topics that actually matter. And meanwhile, they get no attention, no respect from their parents, because frankly, they don't even deserve any. And I don't mean to sound like a dick, but that's just how it is. Really, would you respect your son if every single time when you came home from work every single day, you saw him sitting at the couch, just scrolling on YouTube for the fifth hour, I don't know, singing Sigma Male Grindset over and over again? Would you respect him? Would you? And then you saw him turn off the tablet because he just has like 15% left and he goes up to his computer to play League of Legends and you hear him screaming at the top of his lungs. Would you respect that? And so, of course, they don't get any attention from their parents. And so that's why they have to compensate it for, picking on your other weaker classmates to get attention from them and other bullshit just like that. Of course, if I told this story to 100 people that are closest to me, 90% of them, they wouldn't care. 9% of them, they would laugh at me, and the 1%, they would appreciate the fact that I learned something from it and that I actually took a valuable life lesson from it that I will follow for the rest of my life. And those are the people who will be in my inner circle when I eventually become successful. Okay? So you always have to stay mindful about the fact that every single one of the temptations that life throws at you is an opportunity to grow, to get something from it. You must not be mindful about the fact that you need to lash out. You must not put all of your valuable energy into, anger, bitterness, sadness, sorrow, and all of these other emotions. You have to put it into analyzing what you can take away from it and how you can take advantage of it in the future. Like I took a valuable life lesson from it and how I'm making a video out of it. I got a free video idea from doing something that I already loved. How crazy is that? I turned the entire awkward experience into something productive, and that's exactly what you need to do. There is always a hidden meaning. It is meant to happen. You are meant to take advantage of that situation and turn it into your advantage, and not just the life temptations that life will throw at you today and in the future, but also what happened to you in the past also. Okay? So embrace stoicism, embrace the fact that you're a timeless reader of life, that you're a constant student who is becoming better and better as days go on. Don't be afraid of asking about the most essentials also, because everyone makes mistakes eventually. It is completely natural, so you don't have to be afraid of that. And if you want to be surrounded by people who won't make fun of your mistakes, who won't twist the knife inside of you, who won't make fun of you for asking about the most easiest things when it comes to the subjects that you already are an expert at it, that you're already, kind of famous about, that you're good at it. If you want to be surrounded by people who appreciate the fact that you're constantly growing, who are growing themselves and becoming the best version of themselves, who will be literally like your blood bonded brothers, who will take care of you, then you can join our Discord clan in the description. There are like minded men who will want to be friends with you, who will be your healthy competition. I know that you'll find your place in there. Bro, you have way more potential than you think you have if you're willing to take action on this video. So please, don't disappoint yourself and leave the 99% of people in the dust. You're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. But other than that, if this video resonated with you, then there's something huge coming. But I won't reveal what is that soon. But other than that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.